Good morning, guys. So we got a full day of work ahead of us today. Finally, I have 3 things stacked up on the fender here that I want to get taken care of today. Starting off with, I want to relocate the air cleaner because that rear parcel shelf of ours is the best storage spot we have for all that stuff that we need to bring with us in Baja. So I want to get that thing tucked all the way over into the corner just to maximize that space. So I got a couple of little things here that I picked up from CarTech, should help out with that. The next thing is I got a new high lift jack, good old-fashioned farm jack that I want to store right here, right against the side there. That'll be a great location for it. Problem is, this is about a 30 or 32 inch length, while this is a good old 38. So there's going to be some modifications that have to happen to make this whole thing fit, which is fine. Bit annoying, but we'll make it work. And the last thing of the day is I got a new throttle cable. This is the CD Performance over fan shroud throttle cable, and I like it because this is what connects to the carb. It is seemingly designed for the Weber carb that I have, and that system will be great. It is going to take some modifications though. I have to make a custom bracket to get everything to fit right. I have to make sure that the adjustment in there is operating correctly, and a few little things have to happen. But that's all just work, and I'm going to have to take off the air box, the UMP thing. Yeah, so I think we're going to start there. Get the air box off and start mucking with things. Yeah. Alright, so the finalization of my air cleaner. Take the tubing through, put it off to the side. That way the bulk of everything is over here, and I have all of this space here to kind of store everything in. Should be adequate. I'll get my tool roll back there. I'll get a couple of spare parts back there. And add some stuff. Still takes up a lot though, a lot more than I like. But I'll make it work. Alright guys, with that thing done, now we're going to move on to the big part of the day, which is this throttle cable. This little setup here is just junky. It puts it at a bad angle. I don't get fully closed throttle, nor do I get fully open throttle with the throttle cable. So I have a new system that comes up and over the fan shroud here, connects to a little bracket that comes off right here, and then gets this thing at just the perfect angle. I just have to make up that bracket, which is the hard part. So this guy has got to come off, which is a pain because we have 2 screws there and 2 screws hiding on the back there. It's a pain, but we'll make it work. Alright guys, so this is my UMP air box. Simple little idea, a couple of interior things in there, all good and great. We run these in many types of off-road racing, especially desert racing, because it allows us to do a remote location for our air cleaner. Because that little guy that comes on top of the motor is just not enough. As is that big guy I've been messing with this morning. We're going to have to replace that midway through the race. Anyways, so for my throttle cable, I want to make a bracket off of here. Specifically, these 2 screws to come off over here and drop down to hold, please hold, this little guy, which plugs into here. Okay? So all of that being said, what's going to happen here is this entire thing is going to go up and over the air cleaner. Going to plug through here with these bolts or the nuts on either side and hold it in a static location to be able to grab the carburetor thing. I just need to make a bracket, and we have one little problem, which is clearance. That is trying to put this guy on there in a way that can hit both that bolt and that bolt is difficult because it wants to run into there. And I'm trying to figure this out. I could just go outside to outside, but that's like just way too much material. But it might be easier. Let me have another go at this. Alright, so this is how we're doing it, guys. I have my 2 bolt holes drilled out here for M6 bolts that match the 2 accessory bolt holes on this thing to make it match up. I made some clearance for the bolts coming out from the actual carburetor, and I'm just going to cut it off at this line, but all the way over, because once it gets to the edge here, I need it to drop down. Actually, god damn it, I did this backwards. Right? No, I did it correct way. Yes, it has to come off on this side. Whew, that was almost dumb. All right, so after it gets onto this side, I need it to drop down because that is going to hold my throttle cable holder. Yeah, let's finish this up and make sure I'm not an idiot. All right, guys, let me walk you through this a little bit more. So the airbox back on, minus the little screws that I didn't care. The new bracket I just made, which this guy's going to get bent downwards at a 90-degree angle to hold my throttle cable, which is going to come from up and over the fan shroud and pointing in this direction. Great. So I have this new, I don't know, throttle plate thingy that gets put on the oblong screw there that is now going to be in the perfect location to get pulled upwards and get full rotation. That is awesome, which means I have to get rid of this ugly thing. But if you notice, this that doesn't want to focus on, this thing is my idle screw. Turn it in, it opens up the throttle a little bit more, close it up, it closes it down. This little doodad does not have this little doodad to be able to activate that. Simple enough though. Other side here, the other throttle plate linkage system does have a little doodad. So I get to rip off all of this stuff, move the spring over to here. I might need to do something with the spring here, but I'll figure that part out in a minute. Actually, no, that's just going to go right into this little hole, isn't it? Yes. All working out like I meant to do this or something. All right, guys, so I have a bit of a conundrum that I have to deal with, which is this guy comes sealed on both ends. One of them has this thing kind of crimped to it, and the other side has the hook. That's all good and well, except one of these sides has to go through the tunnel. Yeah, which obviously can't happen. So I have to clip the wire. I'm leaning towards the one on the pedal side, by the way. And then it comes to the next little part of the conundrum, which is I'm going to have a bare, thin wire that I need to connect something to get everything put together. And I have these two things. So what I have here are two versions of a Heim joint thing. That is, this side goes through the pedal, you lock it down, and all good and great. There's plenty of swivel, plenty of movement, everything that you need. This one does the same thing, except it's with a ball and socket rather than a big fancy Heim. This one also comes with a lock nut, and I have no idea what the plating on there is. Let's just say it's great. Okay, that being said, the next little part is this wire threads through these guys, okay? There is, if you look into there and get the right light, a definitive stop to how far it can go. But this one, on this one, you can thread the wire all the way through it, right? That gives you about an inch past the clip-in point. This one, on the other hand, does not go all the way through. In fact, the end point is here, right? So that gives you, Jesus, man, maybe an eighth of an inch past the clipping point. So ideally, I like neither of these two options in its entirety. I like the swivel system. I like the nice screw and lock nut that it has here. I do not like how the wire connects in. That just leads to some uncertainty. This one, again, decent little swivel to it. Great wire, but it's just not as sturdy. So I don't know. Every guy and gal out there who's punching above their weight class, trying to do something awesome. Let's stand together, get each other through this, and change the damn world in the process.
All the way in.
Nice. Out. In again. Nice. So all said and squared there, minus one thing. The ball back here does not meet the track back here optimally. Instead, the track back here just sort of stabs the center of the ball. Fix one problem, solve another, I guess. I don't even know what the hell the solution is. I could shave this off a bit, or honestly, that's probably the way. Just take this down right about here. Maybe. Anyways, that is new throttle cable put in. That is new, I don't even know what else I did today, but I opened and closed the throttle so much throughout the time that it's probably a little bit flooded. Let's just clean it up a bit. in a little bit. Otherwise good. I mean, steering wheel's still up there, but hey, I could theoretically take this for a ride right now if I wanted to. And that's the last of it. I adjusted the idler screw to just get it running nicely. I'm at like 850, maybe 900 RPM in accordance to the tachometer, which is somewhere around there. All right. I guess the last thing I have to do then is just put the intake back together. And that's good. All right, so what's up next? Next up is I need a new Dash 8 fitting for this bottom oil line. It comes way too closely to the hot exhaust there. That's been sort of a problem. It's been managed, but 45-degree AN, kicked off the right direction. No longer any worries and or problems. There are a few other things that right about now, I forget what they are. I think I have a list here or something. Let's see, throttle cable linkage, hood, bungee, got that. Rewire ignition starter fan, got that. Headlight tearaway, that is something that needs to be done. New pedals, got that. Headlight tearaway, what that is I can expect to be coming home from Baja with maybe 1 or 2 fenders left on it. So when these front fenders inevitably get ripped off, either politely or impolitely, I need a place for them to stay on the car. So I just need to make a new bracket coming off my bumper mount here to hold said headlights. More fab work, but easy fab work. Couple of little bits of metal, no worries. All right, I think I'm going to clean up some of my mess here and then, I don't know, go about my day. Sounds about right to me.